and free shipping. The Watch Show, Monday on Jewelry Television.
Hey everybody, welcome into the show. My name is Tim. This is Larry. Let's talk about watches for a couple of hours. First of all, thanks for coming in, man. Premier show.
Here we go again,
JTV.
Tim. Jewelry Television. This is just another one for the belt. Here we go. Here we go.
This is going to be a huge couple of hours, and I realize that we've got thousands of our old friends that are tuning in. I want to thank you for taking time out from your schedule and doing that. Tens of thousands of you are tuning in for the very first time. You've picked a great evening to be here. We're going to talk about watches. We're going to be talking about very specifically the Stuhrling brand. It's a brand I've been a fan of and personally have collected for a lot of years. I've been doing watches and television since roughly 1998, and Larry and I have been doing shows together on and off for a lot of those years, and it's a pleasure to be with you on JTV tonight. We're just going to get right to our first item here because we've got a lot to cover.
We do.
I guess a good place as any to start as we take a look at our first item is a little bit about Stuhrling, maybe like the top 2 or 3 things you think consumers need to know.
Absolutely, Tim. Stuhrling Original, we're all about the respect for the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking legend. We go back many years with you, of course, but we're all about bringing that tradition and legend at a reasonable price, and we can only do that through partnerships such as here with Jewelry Television. We're very excited to be here with Jewelry Television through their reach to all their consumers, and this is exciting that Jewelry Television now is reaching into some finer timepieces because that's what we're all about. Just for example, right here we go with this particular timepiece right here. Everything about it, all 316L surgical grade stainless steel. There's no cast cases here, no base metal. It's all blank from solid 316L steel, and all the links are individually polished just the way that the Swiss do. Our factory is pure Swiss owned, and it's exciting to be here and bring that legend and tradition to Jewelry Television.
Guys, I'm going to go over some item numbers here, and please stay with us because in many, let's take this one case in point. We're going to show this in the gentleman's version. We're going to show this in the ladies' version. Now, within each of those, you're going to have a total of 3 different choices. So, for example, let's just take the men's here, obviously, to get started. Now, first of all, please appreciate that when you see the final price, and I want to emphasize that when Larry and I show you watches tonight, we're going to show you the price you can get it for right away. Now, what you're going to see is the manufacturer's suggested retail, and of course, for those of you who don't know, Larry's worked with Stuhrling for a great many years, and he is going to be the great authority on what these retail for. This watch is not a $100 watch. This is a $480. It's a $500 watch. It lists for $480. This means that if you order it via Jewelry Television, you're going to get this for almost 80% off. And I'm going to emphasize this not only in this watch, but in a lot of these watches, because you've got to keep in mind, it's not a $100 watch. It's a $500 watch. You guys are getting this for almost 80% off. Now, also, something that I'm very pleased to be able to say, we got a bit of a perk for you guys. We had top men working behind the scenes, and here's what we've been able to get for you. You have to order during these 2 hours. And this is really key. You have to order during the 2 hours we're going to spend you. But if you do, you'll not only get watches, in this case almost 80% off, but we're going to comp you on the shipping as well. Now the free shipping is going to go away after Larry and I are concluded tonight, but in the meantime, we're going to save you the money and the shipping. We're going to give you a huge percentage off on the watches. Now, there will be 2 different categories, I guess you want to call it, in this particular item. We're going to have the gentleman's version, and we're going to have the ladies' version. At the moment, we're giving you the information on the ladies' example. Case in point, you have SAH 007A, which I believe is it's the white steel. I think it's the two-tone, actually, is that, or is it the all gold, the first one? It's a two-tone. So if you get now, and let me be very clear. We're going to show you this in polished 316L steel. We're going to show you this all layered in the gold. And by the way, gold is what, 850, 840, so it's way up.
Highest all-time high.
Yeah, ever. And so to get gold layering for no additional money is, in my opinion, a consideration for this product. I don't think it's the consideration, but I do think it's a consideration. It's important. So you can get this with no gold if you prefer the 316L steel. You can get this with a two-tone, or you can get it entirely layered in genuine yellow gold at no upcharge. Now, does that mean, for example, that in this case, SAH 007C, does that mean that one's more valuable? Frankly, yeah, it does. You might want to consider it from that particular standpoint. But I want to come back. Let's not just talk about price. I think price is obviously important here. The fact that it's deeply discounted. You've got free shipping. You've got watches that are built to Swiss standards by a company that is actually run by the Swiss, which I think is pretty cool. But we've also got to talk about features here. And the fact, for example, that you guys aren't doing brass, you're doing 316L steel is a big event. This is a big part of why Stuhrling is famous and has been so successful.
Well, you know, Tim, let's take a look at this piece right here. For $99, Christmas is just around the corner. This is an absolute bargain. Everybody should be all over this. Guys, if you have a lady in your life or ladies in your life, like a wife, a sister, a mother, a daughter, what a great gift item for $99. Think about this. You have a Swiss movement in this piece, ladies and gentlemen. This is not, well, we don't have to go what it's not, but this is a Swiss quartz movement in this piece with solid 316L steel. It looks like $1 million. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have gold jewelry, for example, gold rings and gold bracelets and that kind of thing, put this on with that. This has 23 karat yellow gold layering on top of 316L surgical grade stainless steel for $100. This is an absolute bargain. We're opening the show with a real blockbuster kind of a deal for $99. Great gift item for the ladies. And if we come in really, really tight, guys, I don't know how tight you can get. I know this is new to the jewelry, television, watches now, but here, come in really, really tight. You see that texturing in the dial? That's what we call a guilloche soleil pattern. This one has kind of a swirled sunray pattern or a tribal sun, as you can see. That is done with vintage German machines that we have in our factory that hydraulically press that guilloche into the dial, and that dial has been struck about 30 times, Tim. And I'll tell you, folks, at this price, I mean, it's just a super value. A Swiss movement with solid stainless steel, a Cristerna crystal, which is the best crystal for your money, okay? It's the most unbreakable. It comes from the eyewear industry. It's got gold layering. At this price, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great gift item. And it's great for yourself. And look how dressy it is.
I want to come back and talk about the dials for a bit because since I've been able to present Stuhrling over the years on television, I'm often asked why it's a brand that I personally collect and why I've been so proud to represent it over the years. If I had to name a single favorite feature of why Stuhrling is what it is and why it came into prominence so very quickly. There are actually several. One of them is the fact that they are taking what has historically been very, very expensive features and making them affordable. And this could be, for example, complicated movements. It can be the way they build in steel. It can be using gold. It can be all these great things. But if I had to pick a single favorite feature, I love their dials. Their dials, and I've stated this many times, and I'll state it again for a new audience tonight. Their dials are quite arguably the finest dial for dollar spent in the watch business because they use vintage German machinery to produce what's called the guilloche design dial. Now, what does that mean to you? In simplest terms, what it means is that a guilloche design dial gives you, in this case, it's more of that spiral pattern, and you're going to see a lot of different patterns tonight as I illustrate different dials. But you've got to keep in mind that this has been made famous historically by watches that literally will cost you many, many, many thousands of dollars. And what Stuhrling excelled at from the moment this company was created, and I can remember I did the first show ever years and years ago when Stuhrling came to TV, and I stated it then, and I'll tell you again tonight, that one of the keys to Stuhrling is not just the affordability, and here it is almost 80% off. It's a huge deal. It's a great deal. You guys absolutely should get this, but it is your attention to detail, and of course, Larry, you know this, but your attention on the dials.
Take a look at this. We're talking about details and features. That shot that Tim just had. Just to give you an idea, on a $100 timepiece with stainless steel bracelet, individually molded links and polished links, you've got a push-button deployant clasp, okay? You're not going to find a push button. You might have one of the deployant clasps that you have to pull open on less expensive watches. This shows you it's not a $100 timepiece. If you can show that clasp on the back, Tim, look at the beautiful blue dial. It's a midnight blue. It's got that radiance with the guilloche in it. But if you can just show the clasp on the back, that's a push-button deployant, ladies and gentlemen. All of these links are individually molded and polished. There's your deployant clasp, and it's got the push buttons. You don't see that kind of detail on a timepiece for $99. This is a top of the hour special. Is that what we call it here at Jewelry Television, Tim? I guess you're just as new as I am. But you know, that's what it is. It is a top of the hour special. We're leading the show off with a bang, and I'll tell you, again, great time for multiple gifts. If you're one of those people that needs to buy multiple gifts, this is the show. This is the item here. We've got other items in this show that's going to get up around $300–400, which are super bargains, but they're not necessarily things you can buy multiples of if you're on a budget, that kind of thing. But here at $99, you're getting a Swiss movement. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a dress piece. Look how thin it is also, Tim. solid stainless steel links, and it's just gorgeous. You can wear it with everything.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the whole thin idea, because part of what's really great about this watch is that it is very, very sleek. It's designed to be worn close to the wrist. Now, as we get into other watches this evening, you're going to see a lot of them that are very aggressive looking. They're going to be very, very bulky. They have their place as well. But in a true dress watch, that's not necessarily what you want, especially in a guy's watch, because you want watches that are very sleek. They're going to slide under the cuff, for example, a French cuff, what have you. You want it elegant, you want it understated, and you want it, frankly, to look expensive. I mean, part of one of my personal pet peeves over the years is you see guys, and you know the suit is great. They got serious money in that suit, and they've got some sorry watch on, and I'm thinking, you know, your kid had better given that to you, because otherwise there's no excuse. And what's really great about Stuhrling is they've taken away the only real excuse that someone like that has is, well, I just didn't want to spend money for the watch. You're going to see watches tonight at 70% off, at 80% off, with extraordinary dial, all 316L steel in beautiful designs. Tonight is the night to pull the trigger on, could be a dress watch, could be a sport watch, could be obviously the upcoming holiday gifts, but you have an amazing lineup coming in.
Absolutely, and one of the things I want to point out, we've been on this men's watch right here for a while now. This is, I believe, a 38 millimeter size, possibly a 40 millimeter case. But we also have the ladies piece here, and the ladies piece is one of those classic 38 millimeter case, what I thought. It's got a dodecagonal bezel, which is a 12-sided bezel, but we also have the ladies piece here as well. And for the ladies who have a lot of jewelry, he doesn't like the dodecagonal. Okay, well, listen, I took geometry. I was good in geometry. But in any case, we have the ladies piece here. And on the ladies piece, I'll tell you, it's so classic. If you're one of those ladies who wear lots of diamonds and you wear lots of jewelry, put this timepiece on, and it's going to look like a $1,000 timepiece. It has the look of a piece that does cost literally thousands of dollars, but it's not thousands of dollars, and it has a Swiss movement. Now, that's the men's. Can you quickly throw the ladies there so you can see?
And guys, I know we're pressed for time here. I know we got to go.
There's the ladies right there.
Number one seller so far is the ladies in the all gold, which I'll refer to this one.
Jump all over this top of the hour special right here.
Almost 80% off anybody that acts this evening. I know we have to go. SAH 007A, if you happen to want the number one. But there's several different choices. Now, we're going to switch, in a real sense here, we're going to switch gears, because the next piece that we're going to look at is really pretty extraordinary. Because what we're going to be talking about is a watch that's very, I almost want to use the term in a sense fashion forward, though I don't think that's really accurate in the sense that it implies it's a fashion watch. For those of you who don't know, in the watch biz, a fashion watch is frankly a watch that's considered inexpensive and kind of disposable and probably didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. This watch is quite the opposite. This watch gives you the look of very, very high-end watches that cost many, many thousands of dollars. And if you go back, well, for those of you who don't know, let's talk a little bit of watch history very quickly. There's an annual affair in the world of watches. It's called the Basel Watch Fair. It is the biggest gathering of watch manufacturers in the world. It's held every year in Basel, Switzerland, and I've attended 7 of the last 8. And the reason I bring that up is it's very important. In fact, the team here from Jewelry Television, myself, have already got big plans. We're going to do some amazing stuff for you guys as this show continues to expand around the Basel Watch Fair in 2008. The reason we go is we get to see and talk with very high-end manufacturers. And the reason that you care about this is that our information for you at home is going to be very current, but also we keep up on what is hot in style and trend. And within the last few years, what has become just outrageously popular in high-end watches are these big hemispherical crystal designs. And this one will give you the look of a watch that is, if some of you are immediately going to know what I'm talking about, others of you just look around a little bit, you're going to see immediately what I'm talking about. This is going to give you the look of a very high-end diamond and steel dress watch. Now, diamond and steel has been popular now for about 10 years, and it's going to stay popular. It's one of the safest bets you can make. And I'm going to go over pricing very quickly with this, and then we're going to expound further on the watch. But here's what is cool. Let's talk price. Now, I happen to think, because I'm a ever-aspiring watch guy, and there's a whole lot of things I think are a lot more fun to talk about than price. But frankly, this one lists for over $600. Anybody that orders this tonight, it's under 200 bucks. And if you order within the next 2 hours, actually less than that now, you have free shipping on top of that. So it's a great time to get this. So first of all, we're 2/3 off. Secondly, you've got a phenomenal mother-of-pearl dial, but I wanted to actually open up with one of my personal favorite features, other than obviously the hemispherical crystal, which I think is a real big deal, is that you guys are delivering genuine gemstones inset into steel. This is not like crystal, it is not CZ. This is actual gemstones and steel at 2/3 off.
Absolutely, Tim. These are 24 computer numeric CNC set white topaz natural genuine gemstones around the bezel. That's what we call a chakram style bezel. But the real attraction here is the genuine mother of pearl dial. For all you ladies out there that like jewelry, take a look at the gorgeous dial on this piece, Tim. If you can get it in the camera shot here. Anyway, it's a gorgeous genuine mother of pearl dial. It's got that big domed crystal, okay? There we go, thank you. And it's got the cigar-style hands. It's a look that's inspired by one of the very high-end Swiss brands. If anybody's out there seen the Corum Bubble, this was inspired by the Corum Bubble, but we've done our own thing with it. That bracelet is custom-made. We made it ourselves. It's all blank from solid steel, individually molded links. And here it is upside down in case you're looking at, you want to see what it looks like upside down. But it's got the propeller-style faceplate on there. It's got that equatorial it's got that globular crown with the equatorial rubber ring on it. It's actually got a citizen quartz movement, Tim, as well. And it's got a big date complication at 3 o'clock. So I know that's kind of technical stuff, but the bottom line is I'm telling you about the technical stuff because one of the things that we do with Stuhrling Original is we try to maintain the same technical achievement that we have for the men, and we try to keep that for the ladies, because these are not just fashion watches. Tim touched on that. You can buy fashion watches for $29 and $39. These are technical achievement, fine ladies' timepieces.
I completely agree. That's why I'm such a fan of this brand. That's why I collect this brand personally, and that's why I so strongly recommend it for everybody out there. Because we're talking here about an exciting watch brand that absolutely delivers every single thing that Larry's going to talk about and I'm going to talk about. Now, if you like complications, you're going to love this brand. If you love dial detail, you're going to love this brand. If you just appreciate it, and of course this is, you can say it's watch guy jargon or whatever. I get that. But here's what's cool about this. If you go with Stuhrling, you can not only save a ton of money through JTV tonight, but you're going to get a watch you can be proud of for years and years to come. This is not just a oh, it's a little fashion watch or whatever. You're going to see tonight watches that give you quite literally the look, in some cases, of tens of thousands of dollars. And that's part of the brilliance of Stuhrling, is taking this look, these really high-end concepts, and making them affordable. So instead of 4 people owning it, you've got tens of thousands of people that can own it. Now, if you look at this one, you've got what's called a big date complication. Now, I'm just going to touch on that briefly. Now, I'm going to assume that most of you in the audience have probably, at some point, gotten yourself a watch that has a date feature on it, right? So most of you know that. But a big date actually has 2 separate windows. And it was made very popular a few years ago by a very high-end company. I'm a big fan of them, called Elonge. In fact, if you get the Elonge #1 now, which is the probably most famous big date model, it's 18 grand. They're very expensive. So, well, again, what Stuhrling has done here is they have taken that concept and they've applied it to a watch. They can bring down under $1,000, but that you guys can own for the smallest fraction of that. Now keep in mind also, genuine gemstones combined with genuine mother of pearl in 3 different choices. So for example, you can get the pink one. We happen to be showing you that at the moment. And you can get that under SAH 111P for pink. It's also available, I believe, in a white. And in fact, there's, I think, a blue one here. So there's going to be several different choices from which, I'm sorry guys, from which you can choose. So really it just comes down to, if you love the look and you want to get the watch, which of course you do, that is high-end looking, that's very impactful, definitely consider something like this. And you know what, something maybe we could talk about a bit later too, is the way you guys make bracelets. Again, it's not an afterthought. You guys take it very seriously.
The bracelet on this, if you could actually run your finger to show how liquidy and how smooth that runs, and that's because all these links, Tim, have been individually molded and polished and then put together. I mean, it's sensational. These are not, again, they're not cheap fashion watches.
Exactly.
These are well-made timepieces. But looking at the pink one, I love the pink mother of pearl, but it's also accented with pink tourmalines. I know there's a lot of ladies out there that buy pink tourmaline jewelry right here on Jewelry Television. That's one of the biggest sellers out here. And if you want to match some pink tourmaline, now here we're looking at the blue mother of pearl with the white topaz. And of course, blue MOP is absolutely stunning. But you see the cigar-style hands and the propeller-style faceplate on there. That's a very popular look that's in timepieces right now. So, I mean, we have.
I agree. And
yeah,
we
have another model that for the men like that that's a big seller as well.
Oh yeah.
But
I own one of those.
But again,
Right.
you've got something here that's. It's an homage to some of the high-end Swiss brands, and you're getting it at a fraction of the cost. You have a reliable citizen quartz movement. But again, forget about the technical aspects of it. Just try to picture how well this is going to go with your jewelry, ladies. And it's a pretty sizable piece for ladies. I wish we had a lady model here to put it on. But
then again, it also comes into the fact that the larger, for those of you who don't know, and I imagine most of you do, the larger looks are very in vogue right now. And in fact, I got to mention a couple things. First of all, in 60 seconds, we're estimating that all of these are sold out, or either way we're going to move on. So you're going to see a clock to that effect coming up. Secondly, and I gotta reemphasize this because I can appreciate a lot of you guys tune into JTV and you're used to seeing the descending prices. When I do watches, we do not do that. What we're going to do is we're going to show you this is what the watch retails for. In this case, this watch is $610. Anybody that calls JTV this hour or next hour, unless it sells out, then all bets are off. But otherwise, you get on the line now, I can save you 2/3 off on this watch. Every price that I'm going to put up is going to be the exact price that you're going to need to pay to get the watch. In this case, it's 2/3 off. If you saw our first item, it came up at 80% off. You're going to see great discounts tonight. You're going to see a huge variety of men's watches and women's watches. And this one, we've got barely 10 seconds remaining, so I'm just going to go over item numbers again very quickly, and we got to go. This watch, as far as women's watch is concerned, it's a bit larger than your standard, which you want, by the way. This is about a 32, almost a 33 millimeter, measured 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Now your standard ladies watch is anywhere from 24 to 27. So this is going to be a bit larger, huge domed crystal, which is made out of Cristerna, by the way, which is a fantastic material. And I know we have to move on. So again, choice of blue, choice of pink, choice of white. Call the toll-free number at the bottom of the screen. Number one seller, I think, so far is the pink. All right, we got to go. Coming up, let's take a, in fact, let's just go right to the next item. This one, all right, now, this is very much in vogue, to say the least. This is a watch that if you want to get a look, and I mentioned this earlier, and I know that, Larry, you're probably going to mention this quite a bit as well. One of the many fortes that Stuhrling does, in my opinion, brilliantly, is taking the concept of very high-end, and I'm talking in some cases tens of thousands of dollars, and they make it affordable so that not just a few people, but thousands and thousands of people all across the United States can wear the watch. I had a good friend of mine, I was talking to him about a week ago about this very brand. And he had a very insightful, we were talking about why we both happen to collect it. And this guy is very, I'm not going to get into it except to say this guy collects any watch that he wants, and put it like that. And has. He's got a phenomenal collection. And he says, the reason that I collect these watches is for the price I'm paying for a single Swiss watch, I can get 10 Stuhrlings. I can get 20 Stuhrlings. I can get 30. And so I can either get all of a style or I get 30 different ones or whatever. And that's a really, that's very well stated because that's what is delivered with Stuhrling. And I've collected Stuhrling for a lot of years. And I'm telling you, you want to collect this brand. And if you're not a collector, you're just a consumer, you want a well-made watch that's going to last you a long time, you're going to love this. All right, so let's talk about this one. This is an $800 watch. This watch is delivering, without exaggeration, one of the hottest looks in high-end watches in current market. There is no denying that. This look is screaming hot. It's the hottest it's ever been. Here's what Stuhrling has done. First of all, they brought the look down, even at full retail, they brought it down under $1,000. All right, this is under $1,000. Very cool. In fact, it's under $800. Anyone that orders this tonight, it is going to go for just $199. And we've got 3 finishes. You can get this at no additional charge, layered in rose gold. You can get this in an IP black, or you can get this in the raw steel finish. Now again, please keep in mind that when we present watches here at Jewelry Television, we are going to show you what the watch retails for on the free market, and we are going to show you the immediate discount you can buy this for. So there's no need to wait. You can call right away knowing you are getting the best price right out of the gate. This piece is basically 75% off. It's an $800 watch. You have it at under 200 bucks. You just need to choose, do you want it done in a rose gold layering, which in just my personal opinion, I'll give you a couple of reasons you might want to consider the rose gold. First of all, gold right now is, I don't have it in front of me, but I'm guessing gold's got to be around $8.50 an ounce. It's never been this high. And to get the gold layering at no additional charge, in my opinion, is a very big deal. So just throwing that in. It's also right now, in this particular architecture, one of the single hottest pieces out there, and we're talking way north of 10 grand. Anyway, Stuhrling has brought this with a big date complication, with the convenience and accuracy of a quartz movement, and has been able to do this at 75% off for all the JTV viewers tonight, and you can get it in the rose gold layering, you can get it in IP black, or if you'd rather, you can get this in the polished steel. Now, of course, Larry, you and I have both talked, and we'll continue to talk about the fact that you guys specialize in taking the high end, you make it affordable. But I think everyone, including the watch guys in the audience tonight, we can all agree this has got to be one of the single hottest looks on the planet right now.
It probably is the hottest look. It's inspired by Hublot. And of course, we've done it our own way. We get around the patents and we tweak it and we do our own thing with it. One of the things we've done here is all of the bezels, as you notice, are all black PVD. Black PVD is very, very hot in watchmaking right now. As you know, it has been for the last couple of years. Sure. Okay? So you have a black PVD bezel on here, which means the bezel is coated with a black ionic treatment in a vacuum chamber. But the case, the look of the case, it's a very hot look. Look at the decorative screws that we have in the bezel. They have the little S shape for Stuhrling. We have the Stuhrling S on the tail of the second hand going around. Earlier when we were showing the watches, you didn't see the second hands moving because we had the power saving clip in there. I yanked those out of there, but now you see the second hand rolling around. Here's the black PVD we're looking at on camera right now. Guys, you're going to love this watch. You're going to get a lot of compliments on it. It's a very large case. It's about a 44 millimeter case, or 42, 43 at least anyway, from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Huge case. And you're right, Tim, the rose gold has definitely been our #1 seller in the 3 executions that we have. It's got the rubber strap, black, rubber straps right now are
tremendous.
All the rage.
But who makes rubber straps? Let's name names here. The Hublot, since the early 90s, has been putting them very high in watches. You've got Richard Mille, you've got Zvastis, you have BRM, just for starters. And for those of you who don't know those brands, very expensive watches that are doing it.
How about Chanel? How about Bulgari? How about Cartier? I don't care who you're talking about, the highest design. Patek Philippe, all the high-end designers. Right now, rubber straps are really in. And what we've done with this one, Tim, we manufacture our own. We've put that kind of diamond net pattern in this particular rubber strap to match the diamond pattern that we have pressed into the dial on this piece. But it's absolutely gorgeous. You've got the black PVD coated crown over there at 3 o'clock to kind of pick up your black. You want to show the case back real quickly here just to give them an idea of the design. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's hard to see with the lighting and everything. Look at the clasp on this piece. You have a safety lock with a deployant. Look at this, a push-button deployant clasp anyway. See the push buttons on the side there with the safety lock? This is an amazing deal, and guys are going to love this piece. Any ladies watching the show right now, great gift item for Christmas for your husband, for your son, for your father, for your brother, whatever, your boyfriend. They're going to love this piece. It's going to get a lot of compliments. It's a big seller for us. We actually have another one, Tim, with a chronograph that's like at least we'd have to sell it for triple the price here. But here it is with the auto-correctional big date complication at 3 o'clock. Just a tremendous timepiece.
Guys, dimensions-wise, 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, which for those of you who don't know is how you're supposed to measure a watch whenever possible is across this area as far as determining case size. This is about a 42 millimeter here. Now, if you want to go out, in this case, 3 o'clock, right, 9 o'clock, and include the crown, it's 50 millimeters, which means this qualifies in what the industry nowadays calls the oversized look. Oversized for both men and women are very, very hot. In fact, you've got a lot of women right now that are wearing this size. If you doubt me, take a look at any fashion mag. Certainly take a look at any watch magazine that's out there. And yes, there's always going to be a market for the classic women's size. There's no question. But take a look at what's really hot. When they say, what's hot right now? What is in vogue right now? what is hot and in vogue is the bigger, heavier look. Now, I'm not telling you this is a unisex. I'm not telling you it's going to be for every woman on the planet, because it's not. But if you want an absolute powerhouse look that demands attention, this is an absolute cannot miss. Now, keep in mind, guys, when we're presenting watches, we're going to show you what the watch retails for. In this case, it's an $800 watch, $795. And we're going to show you immediately what the final price is. In this case, it's going to be $199. So you're going to get an $800 watch. In essence, it's 75% off. If you order it during this show, which is basically going to be this hour and next only, you'll get free shipping.
Take a look at this, Tim. I just slapped it on my wrist really fast. Now, I'm wearing a kind of an Italian suit here and everything kind of dressed. This is not necessarily made as a dress watch, but take a look at this. Even with the suit, it doesn't look bad.
No, it absolutely works, and I think part of the reason it works is because you guys have emulated a look that anyone in the luxury watch community immediately associates with 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand and up. And so therefore, you can, yes, absolutely. Even though it's a sport watch, quote unquote, you can put this with a suit all day and it works. Absolutely works.
Guys are going to really love this piece. You wear it with a jeans and t-shirt, a polo shirt, whatever, or a suit like I'm doing right here. But this is the black PVD version, all black. I don't know if that's A, B, or C, Tim, but the all black PVD is really hot. Here it is on the screen right here. And again, this is a can't miss kind of a piece that you just give this as a gift and catch their reaction on this one. And notice, by the way, all of those markers, the Arabic numeral 12 and the 9 and the 6 and all the geometric faceted markers that you see marking the hours, those are all individually applied to the dial. This is not an inexpensive watch where they're just printed on the dial. That means there's two little pegs that go through the dial and they're sealed on the back side. So you're getting fine Swiss watchmaking at a fraction of the price right here on Jewelry Television. You're going to love this piece, folks.
Guys, I'm going to go over item numbers very quickly. I've got maybe 10 seconds here. If you want the Rose SAH015C, all right, C gets you the one. By the way, no extra charge to get the rose gold layering, obverse and reverse, which is pretty cool. If you want the black case, it's 015B. And then if you want the raw, not polished actually, brushed steel, it's actually one of my personal favorites, it's under 015A. All of them have the Swiss movements, all of them have the big date complication, and in essence, it's the same case. It's the 42 millimeter. You just need to decide which finish works for you. Give us a call right now. We've got a ton of lines coming through. As a matter of fact, I'm going to suggest to avoid any possible wait in the phone. I think we're okay, but you might want to get over to jtv.com. The show's live streaming there. You can enter exactly the same item numbers. I'll guarantee you the same free shipping. So that might be a way to get around any potential wait in the phone room. And I was going to save this till the end of the show, but I'm going to thank you guys right now. This is an unqualified, huge hit. You guys are let me just say, I'm glad you guys like the show. We'll leave it at that. We have got to get to, obviously, a lot of watches here in a very short space of time. And this next one is, I think for a newer audience, this is going to be a little bit of maybe an education. We're going to get into what's called a skeleton watch. Now, what the skeleton watch does is it actually goes back really probably a couple hundred years, where the original challenge was kind of among watchmakers. How much of a watch movement can you take out of a watch and still have the thing function? And it now has become this incredible art form where you have these, what's called a skeletonized engine, which simply means that you've got an engine that basically you can see through because so much of it's been taken away. And it's associated again, which of course is one of the big things about Stuhrling. What are they famous for? Let's take the high-end concept and let's make it affordable. So instead of 10 people owning it, tens of thousands of people can own it. So let's look at this one. This is a $660 watch, almost $700. You can get it layered in gold or not. You've got a variety of dials, but the big deal is not just the gold, it's the fact that these are genuine skeleton pieces. Now, here's what I want to talk about. From $660, you have to order tonight, but you can get this for just $129. Now that's almost a $700 watch at $129. Keep in mind that whenever we do watches here at JTV, we're going to show you the manufacturer's retail, and then we're going to show you the exact price you can get it for. So it is not going to be necessary for you guys to wait and see what's going to happen with the price. If you see the watch, I'll show you how much money you can save, and then get on the line as fast as you can. And frankly, The ones with the gold, and yes, I do have, I got to say, in my opinion, I do think the fact that gold's at about $8.50 an ounce has got a lot to do with this right now. The fact that Stuhrling built these a little while ago so that the gold's already on there. They're not giving you an upcharge to get the gold layering. My personal prediction, by the way, is in the not too distant future, you are going to see manufacturers charge for gold layer. In fact, many of them already have. It's not really a prediction that's going on now. Tonight, we're not. You'll get free shipping. You'll get huge discounts. This one from $660 down to $129. And in this case, you also have the beauty of the true mechanical automatic that is skeletonized. Now, there's a lot to talk about here, but Larry, I guess we can start with the fact that you guys, once again, have taken high-end, made it affordable for a lot of people.
Well, you know, this is our Delphi skeleton watch, Tim, and this has become one of our signature timepieces for the line, for the brand. It's got a beautiful step design case, and you know, the thing about it is that in watch collecting, and we have a lot of fans out there of Stuhrling Original, a lot of friends that collect lots of Stuhrling watches, but most watch collectors, you have to have one skeleton watch, at least one skeleton watch in your collection. And what we tried to do with this timepiece is come out with a straightforward skeleton mechanical automatic timepiece, and we'll talk a little bit about a mechanical automatic. There's no battery in this watch, that at an affordable price, because skeleton mechanicals, you can spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for skeleton mechanical timepieces.
And up, and way up.
You know, we talk about mechanical automatic timepieces, and we have lots of mechanical automatic timepieces in this show. Stay with us for the next hour and a half. Well, you'll see lots of them. But here's the difference. When you have a skeleton mechanical, what you're trying to do, as you pointed out, is you want to cut away all of the extraneous parts. It's kind of like if somebody's coming over to your house for Thanksgiving or something, you might want to clean up because they're going to see the place. Well, in this case, with the dial cut open, you're going to see the movement. You want to beautify the movement. You want to cut away. You want to clean it up. You want to make it beautiful. Whereas a lot of mechanicals, you never get to see the parts through the dial, so you have all these extra pieces, and it's not so, you know, you don't know because you'll never see it. With a skeleton, it requires more work, and therefore more money. It's more cost. So here you have a beautiful skeleton mechanical automatic timepiece for $129, great value. And look at, if we get a real tight shot, guys,
Look at that.
come on in. Look at all of those graduated Arabic numerals are all individually applied to the dial. If you look at, now this is the black, but if you look at the dial very closely, you're going to see a herringbone guilloche in that dial. It's so gorgeous. It actually rivals the beauty of the movement. Now, there you go. Come right on in, guys. Keep coming in. Now, look at the beautiful balance wheel beating back and forth over there. 21,600 vibrations per hour. Let's keep coming in. And you can see the mainspring over there at 12 o'clock. That's the coil that powers the watch. You can see the pallet fork down there just to the left over there. You see the second hand going around. It is a conversation piece. It is a great gift item. It's one of the signature pieces of our line, the Delphi from Stuhrling Original. But here's another thing. Look at all the hand engraving on the movement itself.
And the ruby jewels.
Right, the ruby jewels, the blued steel screw over here, which is an homage to Breguet. But again, it's such a great value, beautiful step design case. You have an exhibition case back. You have Cristerna crystals. You have it all in this piece. And because it has become a signature piece, we've been able to get the price as low as this. I mean, with the distribution of jewelry television. But when we first came out with the Delphi, literally a couple of years ago, it was nowhere near this price. It was a bargain at $299. But it has become a signature piece for Stuhrling, and we're able to make volume on it. And if you don't own one already, here you have a great opportunity here on Jewelry Television to absolutely score this piece at $129. It's a great gift item. Buy them in multiples if you can. We have the yellow gold with the silver dial. The yellow gold with the black is kind of striking. It makes me think of the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know, gold and yellow, gold and black, you know, that kind of thing. But we also have the yellow gold with the silver, which might be a little bit more popular, maybe a little bit more functional, but I love black dial watches. And here's another thing, too. You may see many, many skeleton mechanical timepieces from other watch companies, and there's a lot of them out there, but we go the extra step. Tim is going to show, well, he's showing you the stainless steel now, but if you notice on the yellow golds, we've actually plated the movement to match the case.
There's gold throughout the
Right.
movement as well.
A lot of companies that do skeleton mechanicals, if they have a yellow gold case or a rose gold case, they're going to leave the movement the stainless color like you see right here, the silver color. because they don't go to the expense, and quite frankly, they don't have to. But I love this execution that Tim is showing you right here with the blue hands and the blue numerals. This is an homage to Abraham Louis Breguet, who invented the furnace blue. Now, we're not furnace bluing it. We're using a different process, but nevertheless, it is an homage, and it means that you know something about watchmaking when you're showing blue hands and blue numerals like this. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's great with jeans and a t-shirt, jeans and a polo shirt, whatever. But it's great for any guy who collects watches. It's a conversation piece, a nice full. And here, just another little extra touch, Tim. Notice that the crown is a little bit offset at the 230 position between the 2 and the 3. Okay, typically your crown is at 3 o'clock. It's just a little extra styling. The center cutout is offset slightly, and you've got the graduated Arabic numerals, which have all been individually applied to this dial. That means they have 2 pegs that go back through the dial and are sealed on the back side. This watch has it all. You have a genuine leather, French leather strap on this piece. It's such a bargain at $129. Folks, great gift item. If you're one of those ladies who likes to buy 6 or 8 or 10 for the whole family for Christmas and give everybody a watch, you know, pick up a stainless, pick up a yellow gold, pick up a black dial, whatever, and decide who's going to get what. And they're great friendship watches. They're great for your company. They're great for giveaways. Believe me, this is a signature piece of Stuhrling Original. It's the Delphi from Stuhrling Original.
You know, speaking of gifts, I want to mention a couple of things. First of all, free shipping if you order either this hour or next hour. And frankly, we're at this point very close to seeing, in particular, the ones layered in gold sold out in a single layer. And we're okay in the steel ones, but if you want the ones layered in gold, they're coming really down to it. Secondly, another thing we're going to do for you tonight is not only give you free shipping, but obviously, I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, this is the holiday season. If you are going to consider this as a gift as opposed to for yourself, and it would help you. Let's give an example. Let's say, I don't know, you live in, let's say, Tennessee. You've got your best friend that lives in the Seattle area. Now, one way would be to have it sent to you, then you have to turn around and send it again. Or we will give it to the address of your choice, and you can call and ask your phone representative more about that, and we'll do that despite the fact we're not going to charge you guys. And by the way, I've always appreciated the moniker of free shipping. Like we called the shipping company and went, don't worry about it. There's plenty of charge in the shipping. We're paying for it. And I want to talk about something else. In fact, Larry's just brought it out here. Speaking of gifts, part of the fun of collecting a watch or receiving a watch as a gift is the box you get in the first place. Check out what you're getting. In fact, I would openly challenge anybody out there. If you've been shopping for a watch, do you know, now keep in mind, this is not a $130 watch. This watch goes for almost $700. But for $129, show me another watch in the mall or wherever right now that can deliver this kind of what I call the out-of-box experience. This box is aggressive, it looks hugely expensive, and if you are thinking about this for a gift tonight, I'm going to ballpark this, I don't have a calculator, that's got to be about 75% off. You've got an opportunity for free shipping, saving huge amounts of money on the watch. All the while, we will send this to the address of choice anywhere in the U.S. Oh, by the way, if it is a gift, or for that matter for yourself, we have extended return policy already in effect. So yes, you can give this for Hanukkah, you can give this for Christmas, whatever. And the person receiving it is still going to have plenty of time to test drive the watch and see if it's okay for them. And if you want to give what is, frankly, without any exaggeration, the prestige of a skeletonized watch, this is an opportunity for $130. In fact, one of the things you mentioned earlier, and it's very valid, is that you guys, on an ordinary day, and even through other channels, have gotten significantly more money for this exact one.
Yeah, exactly. I hope that other station's not watching right now. But in any case, you know, you also get a nice polishing cloth with it. The presentation is spectacular. You can go to our website and you can register your warranty. Of course, you get a 2-year warranty with every item.
I got to put a last call on this, guys, right now. We're about out of it.
It's
somebody wants it. I need to hear from you.
50 meters, water resistant. That's the rotor in the back there that keeps the watch wound. It's an mechanical automatic. Once you wind it up to get it started, no winding necessary. Just wear it and it keeps wound. There's no battery in this watch. It's got a screwed-in case back to help the water resistancy, keep the water infiltration out. But it's a beautiful piece. It sells itself. Just look how beautiful it is. You can wear it dressy. You can wear it casual. Look at the herringbone
Guys,
design.
the gold right now is on fire. If you want either the gold, I'm not trying to talk you into the gold, frankly, I don't have to, obviously. If you want the gold, either with the black dial or the white dial, they're neck and neck, and both are very, very close to being sold out. We're okay in the one in the steel. Now, they're all made out of steel, but you get the idea. Since you can get gold, heavily layered, obverse and reverse, and you can do this at no additional charge if you order tonight, you guys need to order this. And I know we have to move on. We've got the last call on it now. If you want to grab this thing, for example, the black dial with the gold, obverse and reverse, no additional charge, that's under SAH 009A. SAH 009A. White dial 009B. If you want to forgo the gold, you have your choice of either C or D, white or black dials respectively. All right. Now, if anybody cares about such things, and I really hesitate to do the whole what's in the industry is known as the host pick, just because. This is a host pick. I think this piece is extraordinary, and I'll tell you why. If you go back to the history of Stuhrling, which is, I think, 2000 or 2001, I mean, it's been around a while, and when these guys first came out, one of the first things that I was immediately impressed with, and I remain impressed to this very day, is the extraordinary dials that they make. And I think if you had to name any single factor of why, well, let's just talk about me, for example. In my collection, why do I collect Stuhrling watches and have quite a few in my personal collection? There's a lot of cool reasons, like, for example, you can buy them at huge discounts, which are all great. The dials are amazing. These dials are made in vintage German machinery, and Larry's going to talk a lot more about that with greater expertise than I will. But guys, dials, the single biggest visual factor in a watch. This is a dial that I've stated. In fact, I'll just tell you, in my opinion, for dollar spent, it's quite arguable that Stuhrling makes the best watch dial on the planet. Now, I understand you watch guys in the audience are going to start screaming. You're going to say, yeah, well, what about Breguet? Well, I agree. What about Breguet? Breguet, is their dial better? Yeah. Is it $29,000 better or more? That's the real question. Stuhrling delivers a fantastically detailed dial because they use vintage German machinery and they produce the dials under direct Swiss supervision. This is also going to give us an opportunity to talk about watch complications. But let me cut to the chase. The reason I'm picking this one is because it looks incredibly expensive. It delivers the dial and it delivers an extreme high-end look that you are going to absolutely thrive on. If you want to see somebody's jaw drop when they open this on a holiday occasion, you want this watch. By the way, this watch is not inexpensive. This is what, like $1,100, $1,200 watch? It's up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's $11.95. Is
Yeah, $1,200 watch.
Yeah. But you know, Tim, this piece, you mentioned it briefly, that we can get into talking a little bit about complications. This is a very large piece. I'm going to put it on my wrist in just a moment here. But
it's in motion.
It's actually a 44 millimeter size case, which is a very much of an oversized case, okay, as you'll see right here. But it's a master calendar, so it's got the day, the date, and the month. And it's got an animated AM/PM indicator, which tells you if it's 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the evening. You see the sun and the moon indicator down there at 6 o'clock. But it's 44 millimeters. And here again, I'm showing it on my wrist with the suit. Inspired by a very famous Swiss brand. It's completely our own now.
Look at this on.
Big 22 millimeter wide strap. Most straps are about 20. This is 22, which is a little more extra luxurious. This is an incredible opportunity to get a mechanical automatic. Now stay with me, guys, okay? And a mechanical automatic, all right, take a look at this. You see the Côte de Genève treatment on the back plates there. You've got a Damier finished rotor. You've got a blued steel screws in there as well. You can see the balance wheel over here beating back and forth. You've got a screwed in case back, solid 316L surgical grade stainless steel. Over here you see a recessed pusher. You'll see two more over here. That is what actually controls your day, date, and month. You get this little tool here from Stuhrling Original to control the recessed pushers. But here it is. It's all here. You've got just an absolutely fine piece of horology, really. And there's your...
Now look at the detail on this.
Right. Now this dial here, this is what we call It's what we call a Jonquil dial, because you see this pattern. If I were to rotate the watch around 360 like this, where it looks gray on one and white on the other, if you rotate it around the way it catches the light, they're going to change on you. The gray becomes the white becomes the gray. Okay, it's not done in the same way. Now the guilloche is on the subdials. I mean, that's the details. This dial has been struck at least 30 to 40 times. Each dial has been struck in brass. You know, we have a yield-loss ratio of about 2 to 1 in our factory. We literally throw away 2 dials for every dial that makes it into a watch. You got your spade-style hand over here for the hour hands, but it's absolutely gorgeous. You got a fine coin-edge bezel over here, large 44. And by the way, folks, if you don't know, large watch cases are really in.
Oh, yeah, they are.
40 millimeter size, a 40 is considered a full size for a man. Anything above 40, you're starting to get oversized. And we see them all the way up to 50. 42 is an oversized watch. This is a full 44 millimeter size case. Very hot, very trendy, and it's very dressy. This is the kind of watch that you can wear with a $300 suit, and it's going to make it look like a $3,000 suit.
One of the things I'm going to stress right away, guys, is that this is a $1,200 watch that looks, frankly, like you're wearing a 5-figure watch. And that's part of the fun. This is why I collect Stuhrling personally. This watch lists for $1,200, $1,195. Now remember, whenever we show watches here, as we obviously are ongoing through the coming years at JTV, we're going to put up what the watch is listing for, in this case $1,200, and we're going to show you immediately what you can get the watch for if you order it now. In this case, $299. So you're going to save 75% if you order it right now. Plus we're going to throw in free shipping. Now why did I choose this as a host pick? Because I think this watch is stunning. Because I love the fact that at no additional charge you have your choice of either yellow gold or rose gold. Now, I'm also going to explain what the complications are, but I want to talk a little bit about rose gold versus yellow gold. Because for those of you who haven't followed the real high-end market in watches, a little something you might not know. Historically, watch collectors pay tremendous premiums to get rose gold. Now, I don't want to make this sound necessarily like I'm trying to talk you into rose gold, but you should know, depending on the watch brand, especially north of $30,000, you've got, yes, $30,000. And by the way, this watch, frankly, is an homage to a piece that costs way more than that. But anyway, the point is, north of 30K, you get guys that are paying 7%, 8%, even 12% and up to move from yellow gold to rose gold. It's just the way things are. You might want to think about rose gold from that angle. In my opinion, I think rose gold is a little bit more of it's warmer, but at the same time it also appears like ultra high end. If you want to go a bit more classic, then the one that Larry showed you in yellow gold, Larry, is where you want to be. Now check this out. They've gone into a great detailed shot here. I want to show you guys something. Look at this dial. Look at the dial. Right now on most television screens, this dial is about, what, 100 times the size of a normal dial? Look at how crisp and clean everything is. Let me show you something. These subdials, each one of these is individually crafted by the vintage German machinery. Those have got to be, what, a 64th of an inch or something like that in real life? Look at this in an extreme close-up shot. It's pristine. By the way, guys, in 2 minutes, we're estimating all of these are going to be gone. And that's especially true in the rose gold, by the way. I'm having a big run on that right now. Now, in addition to the extreme dial and the 44 millimeter case and the ultra detail, something else I want to point out is what a complication is. Now, when you hear complication used in the world of watches, it refers to a trick a watch can do other than tell time. And in this case, you've got several dials. One shows the day. One of them shows the month, as in, yes, if you use this watch every day, this would advance through the days of the week, the months of the year. The one over there, as you can see coming into view now, here at the 3 o'clock position, that's going to give you the date of the month. So you've got day, month, date. This guy appears to be a moon phase. Now, it's not. And I'll be very clear, this is what we call an animated AM/PM indicator. What Stuhrling does very cleverly is it gives you the look of a mechanical moon phase, which are very, very expensive toys. And instead what it does is it has a rising and setting sun and moon for the daylight and the nighttime hours.
If you want to forward the minute hand, you'll actually see the sun and the moon come up. There it comes. As the time advances, now we're going to 7 o'clock, that's going to be AM, because here comes the sun rising in the morning. There's 8:30 now, and there's the sun rising, and at night you'll see the moon. So it's an animated AM/PM indicator.
And even look at the extreme guilloche work under the word Stuhrling. Again, it's perfect. I got to interject, guys, because once again, people are asking, so I want to reiterate. First of all, free shipping, you must order it this hour or next hour for the free shipping. After that, it goes away and you have to pay for the shipping. Right now, I can not only save you 75% on this luxury watch, but I can get you free shipping. Secondly, we will ship this anywhere in the country you want. Is this a gift idea? Instead of it just going to your house, we'll ship it anywhere that you want in the U.S. Thirdly, there is an extended return policy. Yes, if you buy this for Christmas, for Hanukkah, even for yourself, but you want extended return privileges, which would make sense, especially as a holiday gift, it's already in effect. So not only can we save you the money, we're being very, very generous with the return policy, which is way into 2008, and obviously in this instance, 75% off. My name is Tim, by the way. You're tuned to Jewelry Television. My special guest this evening on the inaugural The Watch Show on JTV is Larry Magen. He, of course, has represented Stuhrling for years. Larry, thank you for being a part what is already a very historic night. Thrilled to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here, Tim. And, you know, we didn't mention on that last watch that it also has a push-button dual-deploying clasp, and that alone sells for $50 just for the clasp. So
it's a brilliant watch. I mean, I chose it as my pick
had
for
to throw that
several
in, you know?
key reasons. And when you get this home, you're going to see that what Larry's telling you, what I'm telling you, is not an exaggeration. These dials, for example, they're exquisite, and you will love them. Okay, we have to keep going. There's a lot certainly to get to, and I think we're going to have time to show you maybe one more watch here. Larry and I are going to be here for one additional hour. We have much more in the way of Stuhrling that we're going to be getting into. And this next piece that we're going to take a look at, this one, and I realize that we got a ton of watch guys in the audience, but we've also either got watch girls in the audience or gentlemen. And you know who I'm talking to. If you haven't picked out the holiday gift yet, and you and I both know you haven't, most of you, this is going to be a way for you to get in on a watch that is deliberately and very exactly designed to be a very high-end look.
That's mine.
With a lady in mind. By the way, in that larger screen, just so you guys know, that's a final shot at the previous watch, which is almost sold out now. Please take advantage of that. It is very close to being gone. The next piece that we're going to show you now, let's talk about gemstones, let's talk about the look of solid gold, and let's make it affordable. This is listen to me guys, this is a $900 watch. It lists for $875. And keep in mind, whenever we do a watch show here at JTV, we're going to show you right away, this is what the watch lists for, in this case $875. Here's what you can get it for, $199. You don't have to wait for additional pricing. We're going to give you everything right up front. This one goes for $875. If you order it now, I can get you the price at $199, and I can also get you free shipping. You have to order this hour or next hour for that. Now, on this watch, I'm going to give you the size on this in two different ways. I'm going to give you the traditional watch size, which is millimeter, and I will also give it to you in what a lot of us here in the United States understand a little bit better, which is basically with a ruler. So you have an idea as to both of them. All right, so in fact now I've got the ruler to start with that. So if you want to look at the size on this thing, it's roughly, I'll call it about 1 1/4, I guess, edge to edge, a little more than that really. About 1 5/16 maybe, edge to edge. Now, millimeter size, which is actually the way worldwide that you look at watches, you're looking at a case that's about a 30, call it 34, maybe 35 millimeter, something like that. So you've got, and we talked about this earlier, of course, Larry, what's hot right now for women? Obviously, gemstones have and always will be, but the larger, aggressive, decorative-looking watches is screaming hot right now. And once again, you guys have taken the high end and made it affordable for everybody.
Well, Tim, this is our Starbright. We call this the Starbright from Stuhrling Original. It's inspired by a very, very famous German brand, Glashütte Original. If you heard of Glashütte, now Glashütte's piece sells for $30,000. We've done our own design work with this, but again, you have that Jonquil dial that we talked about before. You've got a very clever display of a crescent moon, as you can see. Your subdial, your offset second-hand subdial down there at 6 o'clock is in the shape of a star. You see the stars going around. But one of the things that I really don't want to see get lost here, and I've been, warned, don't get too technical out there because the people in jewelry television won't understand you and this kind of thing. Let them buy it for the beauty. But you can have a beautiful fashion watch for $29 that's gorgeous, okay, for $29. But that's not what this is. This watch has a Ronda 1069 jeweled movement in this piece with 2 jewels. This is the kind of movement that you would find in an Ebel or a Movado that sells for $1,500. It's the same movement. It's a Swiss-made Ronda 1069 two jeweled movement. Now, do you have to put a Ronda 1069 in a lady's watch that gives you a nice look? No, you don't have to, and you could sell it for $29 or $39. But you're getting a premium Swiss quartz engine that's going to last you for years and years and years. Look at the beautiful decoration on the back. This is the Starbright from Stuhrling Original. That is a Swarovski crystal, a faceted Swarovski crystal inset into the crown, a 3mm Swarovski. You've got white topaz going all the way around the bezel in this piece. I forget the carat weight on this piece. It might be a carat and a half or almost 2 carats of topaz around the bezel on this piece. But you know, if you ever wished upon a star, ladies, jewels folks, is typically, if you don't know, quartz movements, and quartz means it has a battery, and this has a battery. A battery movement, most of them are made with plastic parts. This is all metal parts, and most quartz movements, 99% quartz movements in the world, have no jewels. This has 2 jewels to reduce the friction between the metal parts, but it also means that it is completely repairable. So you're getting a really fine engine in this piece. The watchmaking in this piece is phenomenal. You get Cristerna crystals. It's blanked from solid 316L surgical grade stainless steel. When you feel the weight, you can feel the significance of this piece. You're going to love it. Guys, if you want to give a really nice, expensive gift, you know, to your lady for Christmas or whatever, she's going to love this piece. And, you know, the black is very formal, very dressy.
I agree, and I think what's really cool about this is, again, you guys haven't uniquely relied on doing like CZs or crystals or something like that. You're actually installing real gemstones, in this case, genuine white topaz. And then beyond that, you guys can also choose, do you want the watch layered in gold or not? Now, there's 3 different choices here. For example, and frankly, the #1 choice so far is the lighter dial, which is more of a champagne dial, under 005B. And that is layered obverse and reverse in yellow gold, and obviously in the larger shot at the moment with the champagne dial. Now, you can also get this in a black dial, layered in genuine gold as far as the case is concerned, or you can get it just done in the 316L steel. Welcome, won't you, our lovely and talented model to the show, and she's going to illustrate for you one of these watches being worn. And Larry, I got to tell you, one of the things that I believe that this is going to absolutely deliver, we talked about the fact that it's very, very upscale in its appearance, and I agree with you. I think you guys nailed it from that. But you know what else I think is a very key factor here is that you guys took the selection of the strap very, very seriously.
Definitely.
And you actually are given the look of a very high-end, hand-built strap, combined with the look of gold and the look of diamonds, but delivered using affordable techniques. And I think that this has got to be why this is one of your more popular pieces right now.
Absolutely, Tim. We always take the choice of the strap very seriously. We go through many different variations. By the way, we do all of our own designs, all of our own engineering is done in our factory, which that takes months and months to do. But on this particular choice that you're talking about, this is a genuine French leather strap, and we've chosen a Java lizard embossing. This is a lizard embossed look on the strap. It's genuine leather, and again, we do color coordinate these things. I think the one that's being shown on the camera right now, you know, it's got the kind of a sand colored strap with the champagne dial, is definitely one of our hottest looks. There's another one over here. I think the black is, you know, with the black dial is gorgeous as well.
We talk about it being very formal.
Very dressy, very elegant. But this is, you know, it's very well coordinated. And this is really the second incarnation of the Starbright. It's actually our Starbright 2, for anybody who cares. It's a little bit, got a little bit more sparkle, a little bit more glitter than the original Starbright. We have more stones. We put more pop in the piece here, so we like it even better now. It's just gorgeous, and it's got a great engine in this piece. And ladies, you know, guys, your lady's going to love this, and she's going to love you for it as well.
I want to welcome everybody out there to JTV, and certainly this is without a doubt a milestone for us. This is our first watch show, the first of many, many you're going to see here as Jewelry Television is rolling out the watch show. A lot of you guys may recognize myself or the term the watch show from our sister network, Shop at Home Television. We're thrilled to be able to roll this program out now, not only on Shop at Home Television, but now as of this evening and for many evenings to come here on JTV. It's a pleasure to have Stuhrling as our lead-off brand. Larry Magen, of course, many of you will recognize as the figurehead, if you will, for this brand for a lot of years, and he's been a terrific guest.
Figurehead.
And it's a figurehead. It's good.
I'm the
just came up with
figurehead.
that just
Yeah,
now,
I like
by
that.
the way. And it works, and we're going to use it. Let's proceed, because we got a lot of watches to get to. Now, one of the things I got to talk about here, right at the top, there's two key things. First of all, any watch that you order either on the website or on television tonight, I can get you free shipping. That's only for another hour. After that, all bets are off, and you're going to obviously pay for shipping. So if you want it at its most affordable, please order during this unique hour. Also, something that I really want to point out is that what we're going to do right away on every watch is we're going to show you the price. We're going to show you what the watch lists for. Like, for example, some watches tonight will be $1,100, $1,200. Some of them will be $600, $700. These are list prices, mind you. What would it go for at full retail? Then, immediately, we're going to show you what will the watch sell for here tonight at JTV. And a lot of these watches are going to be 2/3 off, 70% off, 75% off. So you combine that with free shipping and extended policy as far as returns go well into 2008 to handle the holiday season. This is the night to choose your watch. Let's go ahead and get to our next piece, which they are now delivering to me right now.
Here we go, Tim, the Time Master.
This is a fantastic watch. In fact, I'm wearing one of these from my personal collection. I have owned this for a lot of years, so I'm recommending this, not only because I genuinely enjoy presenting as I have for a while now, Stuhrling products, but I own one of these. It is one of the many Stuhrlings, frankly, that I have in my personal collection. And there's a number of reasons that I chose this for my personal collection. One of the reasons is that this is what's known as a regulator. Now, I'll talk about a regulator, and I'm sure Larry will as well. Suffice to say at this point, it's a very cool way of telling time, and it really makes this different from most, well, without a doubt, the vast majority of wristwatches on the planet. So if you want something unique just from that standpoint, this is great. Also the fact that it immediately looks hugely expensive. That's a big deal to me. And this is why I collect Stuhrling. This is why thousands of guys all across the United States and girls collect Stuhrling. Because for the cost of one German watch, for the cost of one Swiss watch, you can buy 10 of these, 20 of these. It's an exciting way to get very high-end looks, to get the prestige of a mechanical automatic, to get the prestige of a high-grade guilloche design dial, but you're not laying out 4 figures, 5 figures to get it. This piece, case in point, but I just have to ask, do we know what the MSR is in this actual?
Yeah,
list?
$1,320.
Okay, so it's $1,300. This is a $1,300 watch.
$1,320.
So anyone that orders this tonight, all right, $1,320, fair enough. You're going to save almost $1,000. You save over $900 if you order it tonight. And it is an amazing watch. It is fun to wear. You get compliments all the time. One of my favorite compliments I get on a regular basis when I wear mine, as I'm frankly doing tonight, is people are commenting on how an expensive watch that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is, you're not even paying anywhere close to the $1,300. It's $399 for anybody who. And also, I want to emphasize something else here too, guys. This is not gray market or seconds. This is brand new with full factory warranty, full customer service support. The only difference is that we're going to save you $900. And it is a fantastic watch. And of course, Larry, you obviously know this has been one of the great original, people think of like the original Stuhrlings and so on. I mean, this is without a doubt, at least in my opinion, one of the watches that so brilliantly illustrates so many key factors that make you guys famous.
This one kind of has it all, Tim. This is from our Symphony series. It's the Time Master Symphony. And it's, first of all, it's a very large case. As we went out to dinner before the show, and I wasn't a little surprised actually, but this is the watch that you wore. You picked it up a couple of years ago or more. I've kind of lost track of time, and it was a great choice for you to wear tonight. I know you put your own strap on it, but it's still one of our all-time bestsellers. It's a large 44-millimeter case, which is really in. It's got the big coarse coin edge bezel, but it is a regulator, and as Tim is showing you the watch, he's going to rotate the hands for you. We'll show you the back again, but take a look at this. Now what you have here, first of all, it's a regulator, which makes it, that's the minute hand. And you see it's a large skeletonized minute hand. So if we stop it right there, you see the subdial at 12 o'clock is showing a little after 5, and the minute hand is right after the 4, so it's about 5:22 right now, okay? And if we push the crown in, you'll get the second hand rolling. The crown is pushed out right now, and maybe it needs to be wound, I don't know. There it goes. There's your second hand. So right now, this clock would read as 5:22. And then you see over here on the subdial at 3 o'clock, you have the day of the week, okay, which it says Saturday. It's pointing to Saturday, which is, today is not Saturday, but it hasn't been set. And the subdial at 6 o'clock is pointing to the month, which is saying October. And then in the little aperture window between the 7 and 8, it shows you the date. So this watch would read 5:23 on Saturday, what is it, October the 20th. But there's still one more subdial over there at the 9 o'clock position, and that is a 24-hour indicator. Okay, so in other words, if it's pointing actually to the 5, so that means it's 5 o'clock in the morning. If it goes all the way around, the larger hand would be pointing to the 17, which would mean that it would be 5 o'clock in the evening. So it's a 24-hour indicator. So you're getting a regulator and a master calendar all in one for only $3.99. Now, here's the other thing. That's not all, okay? This is a mechanical automatic. If this were a quartz watch, which means if this were a battery-operated watch with a computer chip for $400, it would be an outright steal for $400. But it's more than that. It is a mechanical automatic regulator master calendar with a 24-hour indicator. It's unheard of at $3.99. It's an absolute, this is every bit of a $1,320 MSRP. It's one of our all-time bestsellers. It's the Time Master Symphony from Stuhrling Original. And here you see, that's the balance wheel beating back and forth. You can see the Côte de Genève treatment, which is those kind of horizontal parallel lines on the back plates. You can see the damier finished rotor, damier meaning like a net pattern, the Stuhrling signature logo. And look at the design in the case back as well. It's a screwed-in case back. You have water resistancy to 50 meters. You've got a coin edge bezel on the bottom side of the case to pick up the coin edge on the top of the case. You have recessed pushers on the side of the case as well. The engineering required for that is immense. You've got individually applied baton indices, individually applied Arabic numerals on the subdials. Those micro little Arabic numerals are individually applied. This is watchmaking at its finest, and I'm so happy that Jewelry Television is going now into finer men's timepieces.
I think it's great. I think it's overdue. And by the way, guys, if you want this, I got to tell you, even though we spent more time on this silver dial, the black dial at this point is in the lead. Remember, you can choose either this in the silver, which is a silver white dial that will get you the blue markers in hands, or you have a fantastic charcoal black dial with contrasting silver markers in hands. Either one of these lists for $1,300, technically more than that. You can get this at $3.99 if you order it this hour. Plus there's free shipping, plus there's extended return privileges. Guys, this thing is going nuts. We got a ton of people online for it, and for very, very good reason. This is a very high-end watch for a very small amount of money.
Now, Tim, look at this beautiful shot. Thanks, guys. That's a great shot right there. But we didn't really talk about what a regulator is. And a regulator means that the hour hand and minute hand are on different axes. And the reason for that is so that the minute hand will not obscure the hour hand but for 2 minutes a day. If it's 12 o'clock straight up, then usually, twice a day, the minute hand will obscure the hour hand. But in the case of the Time Master, thank you for putting that on the graphics, guys. Appreciate it. But in the case of the Time Master, what we did is we did this mambo skeletonized minute hand. So I don't know if you can do this while you're wearing it, Tim. This will be a magic act in itself. But if you could rotate that minute hand straight up, you would not be obscuring the hour hand because it's so skeletonized, you can actually see the hour hand right through the minute hand so that it never obscures. You know how when it's 10 after 2 or maybe 17 minutes after 3, the minute hand will usually obscure the hour hand? Well, with a regulator, only twice a day, okay? And there's an interesting shot. When it's 6 o'clock, this is actually at 6 o'clock because the hour hand's pointing to 6, but the minute hand's straight up. But if you keep rotating around to 12 o'clock, there it is at 7:05, now it's 8 o'clock, there's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And usually with most regulators, when it's 12 o'clock straight up, you will have the minute hand obscure the hour hand. But in this case, because it's skeletonized, you can actually see the hour hand right through the minute hand. It's the Time Master Symphony. Great gift item, large 44 millimeter from Stuhrling Original. Don't miss this one. You'll love it.
Guys, we got lines continuing to pour through on this. In fact, one of the things I want to mention, if you want to avoid a possible wait in our phone room, is please get over to jtv.com. You can see the show there in live streaming video. You can order exactly the same watch. I'll guarantee you the free shipping special offer if you're on jtv.com. If you want the black dial, it's 014A. If you want the silver, it is 014B. The watch is otherwise absolutely identical with a big 44 millimeter case. I've got to put a last call on this now. We're going to be moving on. We've got well less than an hour and a ton of watches still to go here on this, the inaugural show as the Watch Show, having been down now for well over a year on our sister network, Shop at Home Television. Now officially debuts here on JTV, and we're thrilled to be with a lot of you guys that haven't necessarily been able to see the show via Shop at Home. We're glad to be here live with JTV. We look forward to being with you for a long time to come. And of course, what better brand to use for the big show, the kickoff here, to have you back on the show, to have Stuhrling back here live with some of their newest as well as some of their most classic
Great
pieces.
to be here with you,
It
Timmy.
is, man.
Great to see you, buddy.
Good to have you back, man, really. Let's take a look now, and this is one that to me, it's going to illustrate a bit more, because to me, when I think especially Stuhrling historically, you guys are so famous for the high-end, the dress look, but you guys really do some fantastic stuff when it comes to dress sport watches, too.
Well, you know, it's been a couple of years for you and I with Stuhrling working together, Tim, and one thing that's been developed, I think, in the last year or so with Stuhrling, we're starting to do more sport watches. Everything was so dressy, and we still do a lot of formal, a lot of dressy watches and everything, but we're starting to do more sport watches. We have quite a sportsman series right now, and this one is our Strada. S-T-R-A-D, we call it the Strada. It's kind of to give you something from Stuhrling Original at a very affordable price, but yet get really nice Swiss watchmaking here. You do have a Swiss quartz engine in this piece, so you have a Swiss movement as well. You've got the rubber strap, you've got the solid 316L steel, you've got the Cristerna crystal, you've got the luminous markers as well. So you've just got a very functional sport watch. This is the jeans and t-shirt watch. You knock around on the weekend, you go play ball, you go to the ball game, you go to the store, whatever. Very, very functional watch for guys. A great sport watch right here. It's the Strada. Kind of comes from our sportsman. It does come from our sportsman series, and again, we wanted to come out with something that was really in that affordable sportsman's range. So everything is not going to be the mechanicals that are, you know, $500–600.
Sure, and I also want to mention on this particular watch, guys, this watch lists for $395. This is, in fact, and I can appreciate how a lot of you might shop along this premise. If you want, what I believe I'm correct in saying, is the single biggest discount for the entire watch show that we're going to do for you tonight, this one is over 75% off. It lists for $400, $395. Doesn't matter whether you choose the black dial, white dial, whatever. It's a $400 watch. 316L steel, the really cool rubber strap, which we'll talk about in greater detail, but suffice to say at this point, a lot of very high-end brands are now doing the rubber strap design. So we'll talk about that. But anyway, $400 watch. If you order it this hour, it's $89.99. That's over 75% off. Plus, if you order it, and it has to be this hour, I can get you free shipping. After this hour, you pay for the shipping. Right now, I save you over 75%. This is not gray market, not seconds or overend. This is the actual watch direct from the manufacturer with full warranty and full customer service. By the way, if this happens to be a gift, if it happened to have, as it will, a list price inside the box that says $400 and you forgot it was in there, you don't have to tell people that you got it for $89.99, which you did, plus free shipping. By the way, if you don't want this sent directly to you, if it helps you, we'll send this anywhere in the United States that you want in lieu of sending it to you, if that helps with a gift. We've extended the return privilege well into 2008, so you're still safe as far as Christmas and Hanukkah. If you're not the end user and someone needs to try it to make sure it's right for them, you are still covered. Guys, frankly, lines have just exploded for this thing, and for very good reason. First of all, it's a genuine Stuhrling. Secondly, it's over 75% off. Thirdly, free shipping. But I think we've got to come back to the fact that, once again, you guys have nailed, despite the discount here, a very high-end, very upscale look that somebody can own, in my view, at a really generic price. There's certainly watches out there for $90. They just don't look this nice.
Absolutely, Tim. I don't know if we can get a shot of the rubber strap. It's got like a tread, like a tire tread, you know, the strata meaning road. But in any case, it's from that whole Sportsman series of ours. But again, very functional. Look at the clasp on this. You've got a push-button deployant clasp. You're not going to find push-button deployants in this price range for $89. Solid stainless steel, genuine rubber strap, as you can see, silicone rubber. It's got the tachometer on the flange, solid 316L steel. And, you know, the black dial with the orange luminous hands and numerals, you know, that's
one of the most, probably the most affordable watch, I got to interject just for a second, that I've seen with orange luminous material.
Right, orange luminous is not easy to do.
No,
it's a little
very high-end watches.
Yeah, a little bit more expensive, expensive.
Brilliant.
And also, again, let's not forget, you're getting a Swiss movement. I mean, it's a Swiss quartz movement. You can see if you come down real tight at the bottom of the watch there at 6 o'clock, you'll see it does say Swiss quartz. Anytime we can put that on the dial, you know that we're going to. It's a deep dish style, as you can see, the flange going straight down to the dial, as you can see. But again, just what we call an at-a-glance, an easy read, a sport watch, more for casual wear every day. This is not something you want to wear to a business meeting, for example, or anything like that. But there's a huge market for sport watches, and that's why, you know, we've started to get more and more into them. This isn't going to be something along like our Hublot piece or our Apocalypse or something like that, but we're doing great with this piece in with other channels of distribution, and we brought it here to Jewelry Television. And if you want to put your toe in the water with Stuhrling Original, this would be a great piece to do.
It's a great starter piece. By the way, I also want to remind everybody that when we do the watches, as obviously we're going to be now moving forward for years to come here at JTV, what we're going to do is immediately we're going to show you what the watch lists for at retail. In this case, $395, and then we're immediately going to show you how much you can save. In this case, over 75% off, down to $89.99, so you don't have to wait for prices to change or anything else. What you see is exactly the savings you're going to have. If you would like the black dial, that is available under 020B. 020B as in boy. If you like the white dial, 020W. Which one do I recommend? Well, they're both really great watches. They both have the really great rubber strap. They obviously look amazing on. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go slightly a little black. I'll tell you why. It's very, I'm not going to say impossible, but it's very difficult to find the orange luminous material. There's only a handful of watches, in my experience, that have it. And most that do cost a great deal of money, in some cases thousands. So the fact that you can get the orange luminous material, which makes this very unique, makes it special, makes it stand out from the crowd, and to do this for over 75% off, a $400 watch for $89.99, yeah, that is a big deal.
And
so
you know,
I'm
Tim,
going to side with this one.
I know we only have 20 seconds left, but one more thing I wanted to mention on this piece. You know, we could have just put a flat crystal in this piece. It's got a Cristerna crystal, but it's slightly domed. And as you know, Tim, that costs more money. That's a good shot. Thank you. You can actually see the doming of the crystal there. When they're slightly domed, it costs more money. To do it a little bit cheaper, and we have many watches that, even our expensive watches, that have flat crystals. It's a little bit cheaper to do, but we don't do it because it's cheaper. It's just the watch calls for it. This actually has a little bit of a domed crystal, a little bit more expensive to do that. So again, you know, you still have some of the really fine watchmaking touches in this piece at a low price.
Guys, the time's up. We got to put a last call on it. Number one seller so far is the black dial. That one's definitely the closest to sell out. My name is Tim. Welcome to JTV. Welcome to the premiere event where we're, of course, opening up the watch show. I've talked about it for over a year, obviously, in our sister network, Shop at Home Television. We're thrilled to have a wonderful team here at Jewelry Television. And Larry, thanks for joining us, obviously, out of New York. And, of course, he's been with Stuhrling for a great many years, as many of you know. And I was thrilled to find out he was going to be able to join us. Look for many great watches and brands and price points as this show moves forward throughout not only this holiday season, but for years to come here as we continue to make the watch show by far the fastest growing timepiece show on American TV. Let's take a look now at our next example. And this one, I know that it's a personal favorite of yours, and it is another one. And it sounds like I just took out every watch in my collection and put it on the show.
Here we
one
go.
Of these too.
Tim, we actually made this one the show special. You know, when the buyer from Jewelry Television said, we want want you to have a key item, you know, make it a special piece at a special price, and you know, all the regular things that go with the show special. This was the one that we selected. Now, you talk about a signature piece for our line. This has become, you know, we've become identified with this piece. This is the Emperor. It's called the Emperor from Stuhrling Original, and we have some of our best executions of it right here tonight. And you see the MSRP, it was up there, I believe, at $13.20. Here it is for only $3.19. This is amazing at $3.19. This is an all-time low right here. And we're going to talk, so I can talk about this piece for a whole show. This is the most formal piece in our line. It's very dressy.
I agree with you.
It's one of the most spectacular presentations that you'll ever find in a watch. This is not something that you would necessarily wear every day. This is something for a special event. You go to a wedding, you go to a bar mitzvah, you go to a special business meeting, you go to dinner, you go to a New Year's party, whatever it happens to be. Every guy has to have one dressy watch in his collection, even if he only wears it once a year or twice a year. Okay, some guys wear suits and get dressed up more than other guys, but no matter what, you want to have one real go-to dress watch. This is it. It doesn't get any dressier than this. This is the Emperor. It's a dual time zone. A little tricky to set that dual time zone. I mean, we have instructions on it, and I can show you how to do it right here, but don't worry about that. Now here, great shot, guys. It's got an open heart complication. And we're going to see that right now coming up here. And you can see the balance wheel beating back and forth. Great shot. But look at the mother of pearl, inlaid mother of pearl in the dial. That is very hard to do. The dial has been struck. It has been embossed. There's the subdial over there. That's your second time zone. Right now, this watch that we're looking at, the time zones are matched up. They're both reading 12:30. But you can offset it. You can have East Coast, West Coast. You can set it over to Paris, France, whatever time zone you want, and show two different time zones on this watch. But that inlaid mother of pearl, that has to be done in such a way, number one, that we don't break it, because they're very thin. We did have a lot of breakage. And secondly, it has to be perfectly flush with the dial, and that's very difficult to do. Now, the engineering, you have the crown and bow at 12 o'clock. As you know, most watches are going to have your crown over there at 3 o'clock. But in the old days, you know, when watches were first put on wrists, you know, watchmaking.
Color, by the way, in this.
Oh, look at the black mother of pearl.
It's so beautiful.
AAA grade mother of pearl, individually applied indices onto the mother of pearl. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning. If you go to a dress-up event and you wear this watch, everybody's going to have their best watches on, and nobody will be able to out-watch you, okay? You're going to have the conversation piece of the night. But in any case, as far as the crown and bow goes, you know, watchmaking was first done with pocket watches, as you know, Tim, to keep time and everything. And then it took a number of years before somebody figured out, well, let's strap a pocket watch on the wrist. And for a number of years, maybe 15, 20 years, all wristwatches were like pocket watches strapped to your wrist, where the crown that keeps the, you know, where you set the time was up at 12 o'clock, until finally somebody said, let's move it over to 3. This is a throwback piece. This goes back a couple hundred years, where they had the crown at 12 o'clock, and it looks like a pocket watch. And the engineering required to put that bow up there at 12 o'clock with the crown, I mean, it took a long time. This watch was 14 months in development before we came out with it. Now we're showing you the rose gold with the black. That is 16 karat rose gold layering on top of 316L surgical grade stainless steel. And that we use 16 karat, by the way, so it's not as red. Now here we go. Here's the back of the watch, and this one still has the sticker on it to protect the back crystal. But in any case, you see it's got the screw-down case back. Those are little screws that actually screw the case back down. You see the Côte de Genève treatment on the back plates. You see the Damier finished rotor. You see the decorated exhibition case back. That is a Cristerna crystal on the case back. Cristerna comes from the eyewear industry. You see the blued steel screws right there. By the way, this case is 13 millimeters thick. So it makes a very striking impression, because it sits up big on your wrist. This is not something for somebody who wants to hide. It's not something for the shy.
Yeah, oh, I agree. This is a watch that absolutely, even though it's extremely high-end and very elegant, at the same time, it absolutely commands attention. It's a big case, 13 millimeters thick, millimeters across, 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock. You're looking at a 40 millimeter. So this is a powerhouse of a look. And keep in mind, I'm going to come back and talk price just for a moment. Anybody that orders this tonight, this is why obviously it's indicated, which it is, it's a show special. This watch is $1,300. To be exact, it is $1,320 if you buy this at full retail. If you buy this from JTV tonight, we will take, and you have to order it this hour, we will take $1,000 off. You have to order it now. We'll even throw in free shipping. But if you've ever dreamed, as many of you have, of owning a $1,300 watch, and you know, if just once somebody would give me a break, I'd absolutely love to own something that is that high end and that polished and that special, buy this one now. We will save you $1,000. Furthermore, at your discretion, you can get it either layered in gold or you can choose not to. It's no charge one way or the other. And with gold, I don't have it in front of me, I'm guessing gold's still roughly about $8.50 an ounce, thereabouts. That is a big deal. The fact that Stuhrling will give you a case heavily layered in rose gold, and by the way, we'll do the clasp as well, which is a dual deployant clasp, also in the gold. For no extra money, that's a big deal. Now, some of you say, you know what? I just prefer the original polished 316L steel. I don't disagree with you. Very cool look. Larry's going to show you that in a second. If you want the look that literally emulates, and this is not an exaggeration, a watch that sells for over $100,000, then get the one with the extra rose gold layering. If anybody cares, that's the one I have in my personal collection, this exact watch. In fact, I almost wore mine tonight. I was really torn between the two, and I ended up wearing one of the master calendar pieces. But this is, of course, this is why, as you know, this is why I collect Stuhrling. It's why I have so many of these in my collection, is because you guys take the extreme high-end concepts and you really, really make them affordable. Now, guys, we've got a ton of lines coming through on this. There is no doubt. Right now, the rose gold is selling, my guesstimate is probably about a 2-to-1, but it's strictly up to you. I mean, you look how sharp this looks. And Larry shows you this now in just the steel.
Yeah, and you know, Tim, with this particular piece, we call it the Emperor. And it's got the beautiful open heart complication over here at 9 o'clock where you can actually see the balance wheel beating back and forth. Look at the gorgeous bridge work with the 6 blued screws. But the open heart, that's referred to as an open heart where there's a cutout in the dial and you can see the balance wheel. And it's referred to as an open heart, but we call it the Emperor because if you're ever familiar with the fable, or I believe it was Hans Christian Andersen's story about the Emperor and the Nightingale. Okay, the Emperor was a mean, cruel guy, and he had a failing heart, and he had the little nightingale bird that sang to him and healed his heart. And once he was healed, he became a ruler of the people and very altruistic and everything else. And then his heart was transformed. And it was very easy to see. Well, that's where this comes from. That's where the name comes from. This is the Emperor from Stuhrling Original because of the beautiful, beautiful open heart complication. I mean, we do a lot of open heart. In fact, we have another open heart in this show that we're going to show. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the most beautiful open heart we've ever done. Look at the bridge work on this piece. It's absolutely stunning. The beautiful MOP, the way it refracts all the rainbow colors in the dial. And it's a dual time zone. And I mean, I could actually demonstrate if you want me to how to actually set the 2 different time zones, but it's not hard to do really, and it's very, very striking. This is, again, not something you're going to wear every day, but it's it makes a huge impression. It's got a beautiful, beautiful alligator embossed genuine French leather strap, and believe me, this is a conversation piece. You will get noticed.
Absolutely it is, and I'm going to emphasize something that it's really base, but I think this is key, guys. If you order this hour, it's $1,000 off. It was called a show special for a very good reason. This watch lists, and you'll see it'll be on the screen on and off, but it'll be there. In fact, there it is. This watch lists for $1,320. Fact, my guest this evening works with Stuhrling, has for many years. I can assure you, this watch at full retail is $1,320. If you place the order within the next few minutes here at JT, and by the way, you're going to have to call pretty quick if you want one in rose gold because they're about gone. But the point is, it's a $1,300+ watch. Let's cut to the chase. I'll save you $1,000 if you'll place the order right now. And this is not used, it's not pre-owned, it's not seconds. You're getting full manufacturer's warranty. There is no difference between this watch and the one you'll spend over $1,300 for at full retail, except we'll save you $1,000. And this is what you get when you partner factory direct. and I'm thrilled to be a part of that, and I'm glad that you guys are, so many of you. In fact, again, I got to tell you, 90 seconds, frankly, you can see it counting down. In 90 seconds, we're estimating now that at least the rose gold one is going to be gone. The other, the white one, maybe not, but this one's very, very close.
I'll tell you what, Tim, there is absolutely no excuse right now for this not to sell out, because if anybody's watching this show that hasn't jumped on the line yet, let me tell you, if you're looking for if you haven't done all your Christmas shopping already, and who has, really, I'm a last-minute guy, but you must know somebody in your life you want to give a gift to, and there's no better item in this show. That's why this is the show special than to give the emperor. This is a piece, even if they don't wear it every day, a once-a-year dress piece, a twice-a-year, depending on how many times you want to get dressed up. You're going to get such a reaction on this piece, and if you get it home and don't love it, then by all means, we want you to send it back. But believe me, you won't. This is amazing. In fact, if anything, you're going to get it home and you're going to call up and want to order another one. Okay, because you'll know somebody else you want to give it to. At this price, this is the all-time lowest price that we've ever sold the Emperor at, okay, at Stuhrling Original.
Oh, and I got mine. It was way more than this.
Yeah. So, folks, don't be fooled by the low price here. This is an amazing, amazing timepiece right here.
And it's $1,000 off for about another 15 seconds. And seriously, guys, the one's layered in gold, it's almost gone.
We're
okay in the white one.
We're getting some heavy action on the phones right here, Tim.
This is, yeah, this is going nuts. And you know what? Frankly, it should. Because if you love, and who doesn't, saving $1,000 on a $1,300 watch.
Don't miss this piece. I'm telling you now, try it, you'll love it. If you don't love it, then send it back. But I'm telling you now, whoever you give this to is going to freak out, or buy it for yourself if you're not sure. If you don't have a go-to dress watch, trust me, this is it.
Guys, we got to keep going here. We have many watches to get to, and I don't even think we've got a half hour, in fact, left. I want to thank you. You know what, usually I save this stuff till the end of the show, but while I'm thinking about it, I want to thank the many, many, many hundreds and hundreds of you all across the United States that have put this show already far ahead of all expectations. We're going to be doing a lot of other watch shows for you. I thank you for the ongoing support, and believe me, you're going to be thrilled with the watch show as it comes officially to Jewelry Television tonight. We've been building the show for well over a year on our sister network, Shop and Home Television. Now we're going to have the watch show on Shop and Home. We're going to have a whole nother watch show here, and the whole idea is to bring you some of the finest watches for dollars spent you're going to find anywhere, and make them affordable, make them accessible, and also, and in your case too, one of the things, of course, as you know, I so love about Stuhrling, let's take the high-end concept, let's take the high-end fancy cases, let's take the complications, let's take the appeal. Now, instead of a few people, let's have thousands of people owning and wearing it. And of course, you and I have talked about this one before. It's again, one of the more popular from you guys historically, I think for very good reason. You guys nailed this.
You know, and one of the things that we haven't really mentioned on the show tonight is, and I want to bring it up because I know we have a heavy ladies audience out there, but we do at Stuhrling Original get quite a few ladies that wear our watches, Tim.
Sure you do.
Many of them are intended for men, like that last one, the Emperor, and like this next one here. Imagine a woman who's in the business world, a real estate woman or whatever, a lawyer, whatever. She's in the business world. She walks into the meeting with all these guys, and she's wearing an open heart complication. You know, it just gives her a certain level of respect. And a lot of ladies are doing that now. A lot of ladies, you see it on TV shows, you see it on celebrities and what have you. Women are wearing men's watches. And of course, they maybe have a cigar in the other hand, but nevertheless, this is what is going on out there. And our watches are perfect for that, because maybe a woman's not going to spend $15,000 or $20,000 just to have a certain look, but with Stuhrling Original, you can get it for $200, $300, $400 and achieve that look. So I just want to throw that out there for you ladies out there that want to kind of, especially if you're in the business world, you're a working woman, okay, and you want to kind of, you know, go to the office and show the guys, hey guys, I can play too. Take a look at this. You know, I'll tell you what, you're going to really impress some people, especially, take a look at this next one.
I think it's a really valid point. It's something that I have so appreciated whenever I've been in business meetings and women take part in that meeting and they're wearing some really killer watch. I think it's a sexy look. I think it's a terrific look. I think it's a great power play look. And again, what is some of the fortes of why I collect Stuhrling and I so strongly recommend it? Your designs, taking the high end and making it affordable, and also the fact that you are delivering extreme dial not to mention your complications. And this one delivers all three.
Yeah.
You've got what's in the industry is called a fancy case. Now, what does this mean? A fancy case, in simplest terms, is referring to any other case other than the round case. Now, the reason most watches are round is not just because most people want them, it's because it's the easiest case to assemble. This is very different than that. It's more elongated, it makes it more special, it makes it more exclusive to you. Now you add to that a genuine guilloche design dial that's stamped anywhere from 30 to 50 times each on vintage German machinery, and you add to that the fact that this is a mechanical automatic, and the fact that it's a regulator, and it has an AM/PM indicator. And I know some of you don't necessarily know what these terms are. Let me just tell you, I'm telling you some very expensive ideas in watches. Now, this watch, by the way, is a $1,200 watch. I don't think either of us mentioned that, so let me do this now. You can get this layered in rose gold. You can get it layered in yellow gold. You can get it in a straight ahead steel, but check this out. This is a $1,200 dress watch. $1,200 at retail, $1,195. Anybody who orders this tonight, $249. Now that's not a payment plan. That's the whole watch.
That's right.
Now you have to order it this hour. But we'll sweeten it. You not only get a $1,200 watch for $249. We'll comp you shipping. By the way, I know a lot of you guys are either tuned in via the internet, and since we've got so many people trying to get through right now, in fact, again, if you want to get around any potential wait in the phone room, log in to jtv.com. I'll guarantee you the same price. You'll get the free shipping offer. We'll even extend the return privileges in the 2008. In fact, it's way into 2008, so you're covered for Christmas, Hanukkah, what have you. The bottom line is we are serious about making this the biggest watch show on television, and if that means $1,200 watches go out for $249 on the inaugural, so be it, with free shipping. This is, and of course you obviously know this, and I've noticed that you really have a big point of pride when you talk about your watches. That's one of the reasons I love having you on the show over the years, is because it shows. And that's not something, in my opinion, that you can fake. I think that you've got a manufacturer, you're either in the watches or you are not. You're either proud of your product or you are not. And it's so cool to have a watch guy like yourself that understands the product and the passion that it takes to make the real timepiece, and you guys have stepped up. Superior dials, you make them affordable. You know, you were talking about how this, and this, by the way, first and foremost, is a guy's watch. I want to make that very, very clear. That being stated, you had such a valid point talking about how powerful a statement this can be on a lady's wrist, and let's take a look at that now.
Absolutely. Here it is on a lady's wrist, and it looks like we need to wind that one up a little bit. But in any case, this is our Adamas. A-D-A-M-A-S. There it is on the screen. Thanks, guys. And earlier that was a beautiful shot of the open heart. Great shot, guys. But this actually is our #1 best-selling timepiece of all time in the 7-year history of Stuhrling Original, 8-year history now. Our #1 selling piece. We've sold more of this particular piece. It's our model 63C, and we've done it now in different executions, and we keep bringing it back, and we just can't keep it in stock. I want you to, when you get a chance, Tim, to show the back of the case, but not right now, a little bit later. But it is a regulator, and again, we talked about it on the Time Master Symphony about a regulator, but a regulator is where you have the hour hand and the minute hand on separate axes, and some people refer to that as a doctor's watch. It first originated in observatory clocks, where you have the hour hand and minute hand so they don't obscure one another. And supposedly, in theory, a doctor, you know, he can't have his hour hand and minute hand obscure because maybe somebody's life is at stake, and God forbid he should make a mistake. So they refer to it as a doctor's watch. But it's a regulator. And in addition to that, we've added to the regulator, we've added a beautiful, beautiful open heart complication. This is, again, our #1 seller of all time. In addition to that, you've got the AM/PM, which tells you if it's nighttime or daytime.
Watch this dial. Watch
right.
the light play on this.
Yeah, and the dial is one of our all-time best guilloche dials. It's a guilloche soleil, which means it's a sunray pattern, and the sunray is emanating from the open heart at 6 o'clock. And then you've also got a 24-hour indicator to tell you, you know, if it's 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning. And as you pointed out, Tim, the case design, this is a beautiful oval-shaped case. As you can see, it's got the nice curved lugs that hold the strap, but also it's got a curved top crystal. This is not a flat crystal. Very expensive to do. Again, there it is. Thank you, Tim, for showing that. Take a look at the back on this case, too. It also has a curved case back as well to kind of fit the anatomical curve of your wrist. You've got the Cote de Genève treatment, the Damier finished rotor, the decorated case back. It's screwed down, which gives you water resistancy. This is an absolute steal at $249. And as I mentioned, the #1 selling timepiece in the history of Stuhrling Original, it's the Adamas. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something, folks. The majority of those timepieces sold at significantly a higher price than this. You're coming in at a point when we've already made thousands of these, and now you're getting it at a real bargain basement price here at $249, $250. Great gift item, and as Tim is rotating the hands around, if you were to stop right there, just so somebody says, boy, that's beautiful, Larry, but what time is it? Okay, well, again, the hour hand is at 2. Okay, and the minute hand is at 55, so it's 5 minutes to 2, so it's 1:55. And if you look at the 24-hour indicator, okay, the big hand is pointing at the 14, so that tells you that it's 1:55 in the afternoon, not 1:55 in the morning. Okay, and the open heart, look at the individually applied numerals. It's gorgeous. You've got the guilloche that's textured into brass and then dipped to achieve the color. Beautiful. Now this one that Tim is actually showing you is the 23-karat yellow gold. Guys, if you have yellow gold rings, what have you, you want to go with the yellow. We also have the 16-karat rose gold as well. Rose gold is more of a men's choice, but you know, more men are buying yellow as well. And we have the stainless steel, which is a little bit more functional if you want to wear it with jeans and a polo shirt or something like that, you know.
Guys, we got to keep going. In fact, we're going to be recapping shortly some of, if you will, the greatest hits from these last couple of hours. I want to thank the many, many hundreds of you that have been participating in this, the inaugural event, already far ahead of all expectations as the watch show officially opens up here at Jewelry Television as of tonight. Much more to follow, but these next two watches, and if we have time to get to more, we will. We're going to show you, basically, by vote for all of you in the audience tonight, what was the most popular watches? There's going to be two of them. This is the first of two. This is a skeleton watch. And for those of you, and I realize that we've got many, frankly, thousands and thousands of newer viewers tonight. Perhaps you haven't seen the watch show yet. You're not familiar with what some of the details mean and so on. This is what's called a mechanical automatic skeleton watch. Historically, very, very expensive. And the beauty of this is that this particular watch lists, in fact, for, and this is considered affordable, $660. Anybody that orders this tonight, and I got to tell you, if you want the ones layered in gold, they are close to being gone. This is available at $129. That's a $660 watch at $129. Now keep in mind, when Larry and I are showing you the watches tonight, every watch is going to come on. We're going to show you the manufacturer's retail, what you pay for it at the retail level, in this case $660, and then we're going to show you immediately what the best price is, in this case at just $129. You can get it with or without gold layering. Frankly, with gold at roughly $8.50 an ounce, you might want to think about getting it layered in gold for no additional charge, but that's up to you. You can get it with or without the gold layering with your choice of dials. Now, a little bit later on, we're going to show you what was my pick of the whole show. And by the way, thank you guys at home for voting that one of the most popular. Anyway, let's talk about this one. And of course, as we've mentioned all evening, Larry, and with great justification, what is Stuhrling most famous for? I think dial comes into play. This delivers, and certainly, let's take high-end, let's make it affordable, and again, you guys have delivered here, no doubt.
Yeah, for just a straight skeleton mechanical automatic, this is definitely our all-time bestseller for just a straight skeleton watch, and that was the purpose that we made it. We have some other skeleton mechanicals that are a little bit more expensive than this, but we wanted to come out with something that was going to be straightforward, skeleton mechanical, simple, classic three-hand movement, as you can see here, that guys can add to their collection, and this certainly does the job. I mean, you have a beautiful dial work of what's remaining on the dial. Okay, you've got a beautiful herringbone guilloche in that dial, but it is all about the skeleton. It is all about seeing the movement, and look how beautifully it's been cut away. Look how beautifully it's been engraved on this piece. All the numerals have been individually applied. That's a big deal, guys, that it's individually applied. It's just something that you don't expect in a watch for $130. If we show the back of this watch, you'll be able to see the rotor, and even the rotor has been skeletonized as well.
By the way, there's fewer than 2 dozen if you want it in the black, in the gold case, just so you know. You can get it with, I'm sorry to intrude you.
No, that's
I was
okay.
just updated that seriously, the one with the black dial in the yellow gold layered case, I might as well just show it to you live here. This one is without question going to sell out here in the next, now there's fewer than 20. This one's going to go. Now the other gold case is almost certainly going to go, but this one without a doubt, no more than 18 of them right now, this is out of here. This is a skeleton case in about, I think it's a 40 millimeter, triple step waterfall bezel. Check this out.
Let's see if we can
Look
come
at the
in.
gold treatment on this.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Again, that's another thing we do. We've matched the movement and the plates to the case. Let's come in real tight and see if we can catch that pallet fork down there, Tim. Okay, that is what regulates the release of the spring. You see that, guys, down there? If you come in the lower left-hand corner.
This is gone now? All right, hold
Sold
on.
out.
Wait, hold a shot. I'll put this one in.
All right, so the black one is sold out?
Yep,
you know,
gone.
by the way, I see
This one's going to go.
I can see on the screen over here, we're getting a real nice cross-section all across the country from people. Brad in Washington, Mary in Robert in Maryland. Look at this. Lynn in 40 Fort, Pennsylvania, and Keith in Whitney Point, New York. We're getting a real nice cross-section of people that are buying these things. And I like to just throw out a big shout out to everybody across the country and say thank you. Look at all these people all over. Here's Orlando, Florida. Oh my gosh, Tucson, Arizona. But anyway, let's forget about that. Look at this pallet fork down there. This is what's interesting, and this is what, you know, guys will say, let me see your watch. You want to take it off and hand it to them. You see that little, it looks like a head of a bird that's kind of releasing that gear down there, right where the second hand just crossed it right there. Let's come in real tight. You can see the balance wheel behind that. Okay, this is what a skeleton mechanical is all about. If you
Look
were
at all those rubies in there.
Absolutely. If you were to take, this is a 20 joule mechanical automatic, if you were to take apart a typical mechanical automatic, it wouldn't look anything like this. But in a skeletonized version, you want to beautify, and that's why skeletons are generally more expensive than just a straight mechanical, because they require a lot more work. Okay? You can see, and another nice thing too, you know, you've seen power reserve indicator watches, Tim, where it's got a gauge on it, and those are very expensive.
Yeah, they are.
They're very, you know, they're expensive, and we have a few of them in our line as well. None here tonight. But my point is, with a skeleton, even though you don't have the indicator, you can see the mainspring up there at 12 o'clock, and you can see the coil that is wound, which tells you that you've got power remaining on your mechanical automatic. If you want to wind it by the stem, by the crown, you'll actually see that mainspring tighten up. And the tighter it is, then the more power that's still remaining on the spring. That's what powers your watch right there. And look at the beautiful diamond cut alpha style hands on this piece, the way they refract the light. It's a real, this piece is a real conversation piece. And you know, I've been saying to our design team that we really need to do another model in this case, because
I agree with you.
Because this case has been one of our all-time best sellers. It's that beautiful step design, as you can see, and that's where the name Delphi comes from the Acropolis and the Delphi Theater. But my point of it is that the only model we've ever put in this case is this one, the Delphi, the skeleton. I'd like to see us do a chrono in this or something like that, because this case is gorgeous.
Guys, if you want it finished in yellow gold at no additional charge, you want to specifically order 009B. Now, I do have a couple of other options for you.
Great gift item.
All of them are going to be, yeah, it is. Now, just so you know, that black one, we just counted it down a couple of minutes ago. That one is sold out, and if we can get more, we'll get more, but that one is, at this point, completely gone. I can still get you the yellow gold at no additional charge if you want to order it in the silver dial, and that is 009B. Again, 009A, that's completely sold out. That went about 3 minutes ago. 009B, that's about to sell out. Now, there's a couple of other options if you don't want to get into the gold layer and you just want the polished 316L steel.
Do we have the black in the stainless steel?
Yes, that
Okay.
we have. That's under 009D as in David.
Because
that's still available.
With the stainless steel, it's actually a little bit more functional. I mean, the gold is great, and I'm glad it's sold out, and I love the gold. That's a little more dressy. But if you're a guy that just wants to wear these more with you know, jeans and all over the place, you get a little bit more functionality out of stainless steel, Tim. Agree?
Well, I think what we talk about, by the time you add everything up here, is that whether you want to look at this from a complication, you want to look at it from a decorative case, whether you want to look at it from a sheer price discount, this is a monster of a deal. This is, by the way, guys, this is almost $700. You buy this at list, it's $660. Anyone that orders this via JTV tonight, it's $129. And I can get you free shipping. And we will ship this anywhere in the country you want. For example, you're buying it not for yourself, but a gift. It would help you to send it to the other address tell us, and we'll make that happen. We'll extend return privileges well into 2008. This is a watch that if you want a deep discount on a real high-end look, is a cannot miss. And I think we're going to have time to squeeze maybe one other watch into the show here, guys, and then that's going to be it. This is, if you want the elegance and the prestige and the bragging rights of a genuine mechanical automatic that is truly skeletonized and hand decorated. You can see all of the, not all, but in this section, just some of the ruby jewels that are throughout the movement. By the way, the reason rubies are used is they are polished and in place at the points of friction within the mechanical engine of the watch. And it's again a sign of the prestige and a sign of the fact that it's hand built and just the way that they've polished them and set them. You're not going to get that, for example, in most quartz engines, which use the batteries. Now, in 2 minutes, by the way, we're estimating this is going to be completely sold out. Following this watch, we're going to have actually my personal favorite watch of the whole collection that we've shown you tonight. One of these is already gone. The black dial, forget it, it's gone. If you want the other one layered in gold, which is close to being sold out now, and as I've told you throughout the evening, if you haven't followed gold as a commodity, I don't have the exact in front of me, but it's got to be around $8.50 an ounce, something like that. To get, it's $8.30, I think it's $8.30 an ounce. To get gold layering, obverse and reverse, including the buckle, at no additional charge, is frankly a big deal. But either way you go, guys, at this money for $129 on a $700 watch is a cannot miss, especially when you add that this is not a quartz engine. Now, quartz is fine. It has its advantages, but it will never have the appeal of the artistic nature of a handmade mechanical automatic. It just won't. This does. And you guys, as you know, Larry, you've done a brilliant job on this. There's a reason why you've had such a huge success, not only as a company, but just within this model. And it's frankly because, in my view, it delivers. It delivers big time. Absolutely, Tim. It sure does. It's become a signature piece for us, and I'm kind of surprised that the black dial went first. The black dial is gorgeous, and you know, but typically our silver dials go first in this model. But it's gorgeous, and well, it's about to. I'll tell you what. Also, you know, we're right around the corner from Christmas, and you know, this is a great gift item. Number one, the price for $129. It's a great price, and it has a look of, you know, being much more than $129. It has the look, even though the MSRP is only $660, it actually has the look of something well over $1,000. And, you know, go ahead and give a skeleton mechanical automatic to, you know, whether it's your son, your dad, your brother, your boyfriend, your husband, you know, whatever it happens to be, you know, and give out, you know, multiples. I mean, this will be a major hit. Just catch their reaction. Hey, a skeleton mechanical, and it's a conversation piece. Great gift item. We're going to finish up with my favorite from the entire lineup tonight. And frankly, it's one of my favorite in the entire collection. Stuhrling, in my view, is famous for a number of different reasons, all very good ones. But if I had to pick a single, I got to go with their dial detail. Their dial detail is, frankly, absolutely exquisite. And that's exactly what this next watch is going to be about. Now, as we go to this, I want to remind you, if you've made kind of a shopping list, if you want the free shipping, you've got roughly about 5 minutes to get in on it. After that, obviously we're going to move on, and the jewelry television, of course, is going to continue as it always does 24/7, and we're going to get back into gemstones and the like. Watches go away in about 5 minutes, and the free shipping goes away in about 5 minutes. So you need to get online with us right now and place the order so I can get you the free shipping. This next watch is a large watch. It is 44 millimeter. You can get this layered in rose gold. You can get this layered in yellow gold. Some of the best news? $1,200 watch. This lists for $1,195. This is $299. You got, what, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, I guess, left in the whole show. If you want one of these, it's a $1,200 watch for $299, and in my opinion, one of the most exquisite dials Stuhrling has done to date. Now, I've only got 3 minutes to show you this, guys, because that's all the time that we're going to have. So I urge you to order one of these within the next 3 minutes so I can save you the money. It's a $1,200 list for $299, and we'll get you the free shipping with the extended return privileges. And keep in mind, whenever we show watches, we're going to show you exactly what the watch lists for and immediately show you the best possible price. And there's the one layered in the rose gold. And obviously, Larry, this is stunning with the suit. We can all see that.
Well, thank you. And I agree with you, Tim. This is our Symphony Minuet watch. It's a master calendar. Now, if you're not familiar with master calendar, what that means is you've seen lots of watches that have a date. And then you go one step further and have a day date, meaning you show the, Monday the, the 12th, okay?
Look at this.
But then when you go day, date, and month, that is a master calendar to give you 3 indicators, day, date, and month, and you have an AM, PM indicator down there at 6 o'clock. So you have a master calendar with an AM, PM, and it's all being done with a mechanical automatic, which means, you think, well, what's the big deal? Day, date, month. What's the big deal? Because we're so conditioned to buying quartz watches, which means it has a battery and a computer chip. You can program a computer chip to do anything. But you have to understand, folks, there is no computer chip in this watch. There is no battery in this watch. It's all being done off of a spring. Now, stop and think about that, what that means in horology. That means that when the second hand goes around 60 times, the minute hand has to go 1 full hour. The hour hand has to move 1. And then each one goes, as the hour hand goes around 24 times, then the date has to move 1. And when the date goes 30 times, then the month has to go 1. It's all being operated off of a main spring. It's called horology, folks. And here it is, a master calendar being done with no battery, for only $299 is ridiculous, and it's a large 44mm case, which means it's really in right now. Very trendy large cases. Beautiful, beautiful coin edge bezel, as you can see. This is the kind of watch, I said it before, you wear with a $300 suit. It looks like a $3,000 suit. Not exactly the kind of watch maybe you want to wear when you go in and ask your boss for a raise, because he'll think that you already have too much money when you walk in with this watch. It looks like a $10,000 watch or more.
And actually, given where gold is, to me, it looks far, far more than that. Guys, I've got to put a last call on this in just a matter of seconds. I've got a handful left, especially if you want the one layered in the rose gold. Please note your item numbers, 010B for the yellow gold, 010A for the rose gold. I need to thank the many, the hundreds, possibly even thousands of you that have made this an overwhelming success. Thank you. We look forward to having the watch show here at JT.